Hello everybody, What If Free and Stuff here. I have been hit in the head with a brick of two what ifs, actually. Bunk bunk. It hurt, and I love it. These two, I've been trying to find all over YouTube. Some exist, some are okay. And, well, and I really want to try my shot at this. Like, I really want to shoot my shot at this. So, the first one, well, both of these, actually, they are straying way off my normal beaten path. You guys know how I do MHA what-ifs. And, you know, do little political things here and there every once in a while, you know. Just a little here and there. Nothing too, you know, like, whoa. But, ooh, Young Turks. Anyways. These two are well off my beaten path. You guys know I do MHA. Now, I'm going to do Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball G... Fuck GT. Dragon Ball Super. You know, the three main parts of the story that Akira Toriyama has, you know, fucked with. So, that's about the basis I'm going to be going off of here. Now, the first idea I had, which is the one I'm going to be doing, what if Goku went back in time? As I said, I kind of searched for it, found some results, but in my opinion, nothing of note. If you have for other what ifs that watch this, if you have a Goku what if of that specific one, sorry. But most likely not, because I only got 48 subscribers as of the moment. I gotta start designing thumbnails. Whatever. Yes, this first one. What if Goku went back in time? Let's begin. Let's hope I don't fuck it up. We start off. Universe 3 Kai, Eri. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, please don't slam me in the comments. Third Universe Kai, I'm just gonna call him that for simplicity's sake. I gotta learn his name later. I mean, I know it, it's Eri, but I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I gotta go back and check after this episode. So, yeah. Eri, you know, is after the Tournament of Power. It's a little ways after the Broly fight. And Eri seems to be a little jealous about something. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Universe 3 Kai, he's that nerdy little fucker from Universe 3. You know, with the evil Kai. Not with that one evil Kai. Well, I'm not sure if he's actually evil or actually from Universe 3, but you know. That's who I'm thinking of, the nerd. I'm thinking about the nerd one. So, yes. He's gotten a little jealous about how Goku, about how he's in good with Zeno, the supreme god of destruction, or in their case, gods. You know, the little guys. If you know what I'm talking about, great. If you don't, oof, you got a lot of watching to do there, bud. Or, I don't mean to be, you know, like assumptuous of gender, but, you know, you got a lot of watching to do there, friend. So, to avoid that. Now, if you know what I'm talking about, good for you. If you don't, yeah, you got a lot of watching to do. I just said that. Fuck. I haven't had enough Monster. I haven't had enough caffeinated energy drink today. My brain is slow and not even firing on both cylinders right now, okay? It's on firing on half the fucking cylinder. Yeah. Goku, you know, he's in good with Zeno. Zenny. He's in good with Zenny. He just calls him money. Oh, damn. Yeah. He ain't good with Zenny. Universe 3 guy. Universe 3 nerd. Universe 3 nerd Kai. He's jealous. I mean, very, very jealous. So, he's been going between universes, keeping an eye on Goku, noticing how much he's training, noticing how much, well, what all he does. And there are times where he's just gone. And he thinks, you know, where he's gone for like weeks at a time from his family, even off planet. And he's like, perfect. This is perfect. I can just, fuck it, I could just use the Dragon Balls of this universe in 6. Just wish his ass away. He's, you know, like plotting, planning, making sure that he don't get caught. And it takes him a couple of weeks. He's zooming around looking. He finds all 7 of them. All while avoiding detection from Whis somehow. But not by the Grand Minister. The Grand Minister sees what he's doing. You know, Grand Minister, this may be arrogant and rash and irresponsible on his part, but he's hoping that his son will have second thoughts. He waited until the bitter end. Like, as soon as he began saying, you know, like, the passphrase to bring the dragon out, he begins zooming his direction, realizing it's way too late. He should have stopped him the first time he even exited his own universe. But the nerd made the infamous wish. I wish Goku had disappeared. The dragon, knowing that if Goku disappeared altogether, well, he knows Zeno will destroy his ass. And he says, begrudgingly, not even actually completing his wish, but doing something else. He says, your wish has been granted. Balls are gone. Goku, he's out of King Kai's. Chilling, training, you know, doing his thing. All of a sudden, he didn't instant transmit. No. That's what King Kai thought at first. He's like, where'd he go? Just starts checking around. You know, nothing at first. He's like, probably went somewhere new. So he begins searching the entire galaxy. He's like, okay, this is weird. Begins checking the other galaxies around. Nothing. Begins to spread his search as far out as possible. Got connection with all the other Kais to look for Goku. Nothing. Literally nothing. Freaking out, he checks Earth out extensively. Not a smidget of his shit. Nothing. King Kai is freaking the fuck out. Now we go to Goku's point of view. He wakes up. Just being hit by a car. You know, he kind of just shakes his head like, what the heck? He gets up. There's something very nostalgic about the front of that car, the way it rolled over when it hit him. He's like, I think I've seen this somewhere before. As a lady, a girl, popped out of the top of the car, which is technically the side of the car now, but, you know, popped out of the top of the car. She's like, what the heck are you? You know, starts unloading on him. Goku, he realized something. He barely had time to react to that, which most shells struck him. You know, it hurt. He's like, wow, ow, ow, what the heck, lady? Bulma? Bulma stops. She's like, I beg your pardon? He says, Bulma? She says, how do you know my name, creepy kid? He says, oh, neat. Zan just put something out on Discord. Anyways. Boy. Okay. Goku's like, how are you so young? Wow, did you use the Dragon Balls to make yourself look so young? Bulma's genuinely confused. She's like, I'm sorry, what? How do you know my name? And how do you know what the Dragon Balls are? He says, what do you mean? Wait. As he kind of just looks at himself for a second. You know, realizing, oh shit, I'm 12 again. Oh shit. Oh. You know, Goku. He's like, oh shit. Bulma's like, what? He says, nothing. Hi, my name's Goku. Why'd you shoot me? She says, because I kind of hit you with a car and you kind of didn't die. He says, so you shoot the guy because he didn't die? Yeah, that doesn't sound very cool of me. He said, Goku's like, no, it's not. Goku, you know, taking a second, feeling his power to how far he has dwindled down again. Goku's like, wow. I'm in deep shit. How did I get here? I can gather the Dragon Balls for information. That kind of goes through his head. He says, so, you're looking for the Dragon Balls, correct? She goes, yeah? He says, okay. Follow me, I know where one is. As he starts jogging down the road, picking up the fish. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna need that later. Yeah, he's jogging down the road. Bulma, you know, like, she keeping up, surprisingly. Goku says, oh, dang, I've slowed down. Okay. You know, as he begins, you know, all the way down, gets back to his house. You know, he says, okay, go in there, the Dragon Ball is on a pedestal. He says, I'm gonna chop up some fish. She says, okay. Goku's like, wait, are you hungry? She says, yeah, I'll take some food. He says, alright. Chops up the fish. Cooks it. She says, oh, just nothing fancy, I see. He says, yeah, I don't have I don't exactly have a lot of cooks like you do, Bulma. She says, how do you know I have a lot of cooks? He says, because you're rich. Right. Forgot about that. She says, forgot about what? Goku's like, nothing. Nothing. Leave her, Goku, leave her. God. Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of Moscow X. That's how I got that. Leave her, Goku, leave her. Yeah. Anyways, let's continue. He finishes up the fish like as normal. She says, Jesus Christ, kid, you are barbaric. And he says, and it's the wild. You eat every calorie you can. She says, Bulma's like, you're pretty strong. You want to come on this adventure with me? Be like a bodyguard? He says, sure. What are you going to pay me? She says, like $1,000? He says, actually, I was thinking of something a little better. Something a little less trinkety. Not trinkety. Materialistic. She says, oh, what do you want? He says, I just want to get some information, that's all. She says, oh, what kind of information do you want to know? He says, oh, no, it's not information you can give me, or this world knows. Come to think of it, probably there's someone who knows, but I'm not saying his name. She says, oh, who? He says, Goku's like, I just said, I'm not saying his name. I'm gonna use the Dragon Balls to get some said information. She says, oh, wouldn't that count as a wish? He says, no, it's asking for information. A wish and asking for information, I think are two different entities of their own. Goku, she says, oh, okay. So you coming along then? He says, yeah. Anyways, Goku, they actually spend the night there. Goku spends the night on the floor. Bulma sleeps in the small-ass bed that Goku sleeps in, usually. Oh wait, never mind, actually. She's like, Goku's like, alright, I get the floor. You get to have the bed then. She says, oh, no, it's fine. I can make my own house. He says, how? Oh, yeah, the capsules. She says, yeah, how do you know about the capsules? He says, info, I know, you'll find out later. She says, whatever. He goes to sleep in his own bed. Bulma pops up a house, goes to sleep in that bed. Yeah. Anyways, they begin searching for the Dragon Balls. They come across Yamcha. Goku, seeing the young Yamcha, he's like, wow. He actually looked a lot better without that scar. He's kind of giggling to himself about that. Bulma, she sees Yamcha, she's like, okay, he actually kind of cute. Yamcha sees Bulma, he's like, whoa. He just runs off like, he says, oh yeah, he's antisocial too. Goku's like, oh yeah, he's antisocial too. Goku says, I'll be right back. I'm going after him. She says, Bulma's like, wait. As he's after him. He says, Yamcha, stop. Yamcha kind of just stops dead in his tracks, like, looking at Goku. He says, how do you know my name, kid? How do you know my name? He says, don't worry, it's information only... No, never mind. It's nothing. I didn't you say your name? He says, yeah, you said my name. He says, no, I didn't. Listen. If you help us with something, I might be able to hook you up with blue hair beauty over there. He says, he just flusters up. He's like, what? Who said I even wanted to go out on a date? He says, dude, I can see you flustering as we speak. He says, Yamcha's like, damn it. Goku is just, so, what do you say? If you help us. Damn it. So, damn, I forgot where I was. Yeah, Yamcha's like, sure. He's like, great. I just need your help for bodyguard duty. He says, oh, bodyguard duty? Dude, I'm a bandit. He says, but do you really need to be a bandit? He says, yeah, that's kind of how I eat around here. He says, okay, yeah, sorry about that. Come with us, I'll make sure you don't have to worry about food much. He says, oh yeah, like you can, like, get a good hunk of meat. He says, oh, dude, I could take down a whole ass T-Rex. Yamcha's like, bull crap. He says, yeah, I can do it. Come on. Come with us, I can show you. He says, alright. Anyways, Goku and Yamcha come back to Bulma. Yamcha's like, all nervous and shit. Goku's like, alright. I worked out a deal. He's also gonna be the bodyguard. She says, oh. Okay. Oh. Kirisho Miniku. Yeah, he's doing an update on him. On the Black Widow, Deku? Oh yeah, go watch that. That shit good. So, let's continue. Off other people's what ifs on my what if. Yamcha, he's nervously does his job. And they come across Oolong, the pig. She's like, she comes across the terrorized village. They come across the terrorized villagers. They, Poor. Yeah, Poor's with him, too. Poor, yeah, the village is like talking about this big bull that comes and takes half the food. And bullshit. Poor says, don't worry, Yamcha can beat his ass. Like shit like that. Can beat him up. And Yamcha's like, yeah. The bull comes around. And Yamcha's like, whoa. Goku's all like, oh, that's gonna be some good beef. And then, Oolong, being surprised at what Goku said, he just, like, out of fear, transforms back into a pig and says, oh, crap. Oh, well, pork it is. He's like, eh. And Pork's like, wait a minute. I know this dude. Motherfucker, Oolong. Oolong notices Poor and is like, oh, Poor. They both kind of stare at each other for a second. And Yamcha's like, Poor, you know this guy? You know this pig? Poor's like, yeah, I know him. Used to bully me back in shapeshifting school. Poor. Oolong's like, what? I never did such thing. He says, yeah, okay, whatever. Oolong says, what are you guys doing here? What are you guys doing here? Bulma says, well, I'm here to Goku's like, not yet. We are on a quest. Now, I'm feeling a little hungry. No, Goku's not like that. Goku says, yeah, Goku's like, yeah, he didn't even shush Bulma. He beat Bulma to the jump. He's like, oh, we're collecting Dragon Balls. You know, like all casually laid back like he normally was as a kid. And he's like, oh, wait, what are Dragon Balls? He says, oh, it's where you gather 7 Dragon Balls that look like this. You say a certain set of words and, opens up. And if you gather 7 of these all together, you get to make a wish. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, Oolong gets involved. With his little pervy antics. A couple of times, Goku kind of wanted to knock him on the head, but, had to refrain. Yamcha did so greatly. Bodyguard duty. And he likes Bulma. She says, every time Oolong gets pervy, Yamcha just boonk. And she's like, thank you, Yamcha. He says, no problem. Anyways, let's continue. Yeah, they begin to, as they get to Fire Mountain, come across the Ox King. And he's like, who? Hello, who are you? Goku's like, my name's Goku. He says, oh, you're just a kid. He says, yep, just a kid. He says, what are you doing here? He says, oh, I'm here looking for Dragon Balls. He's like, oh, okay. So, what else? Why else are you here? He says, I am being a bodyguard for a blue-haired lady that's also looking for a Dragon Balls. And plus there's another guy about the same age. Then there's a pig and a floating cat. He says, oh, is that all? He says, yeah, that's about it. He says, come up to the castle with me. Let's have a talk about this Dragon Ball gathering. He says, yeah, no problem. Let me go get the others. He goes and gets the others. He says, all right, we're going up the mountain. Let's go. He begins. He can't quite jump as far because, he's weak. He's young. Hasn't trained as much. He says, yeah, I gotta work on that. On his way up there, realizing he hasn't got as much explosiveness as he used to. Back in the future. While he's there, after he spoke with King, the Ox King, Goku, he's looking around. After the Ox King, he says, I actually have a side quest for you. My daughter went missing. I need your help to go find her. He says, yeah, what's she look like? He says, she's short, about your age, has black hair, black eyes, and has a helmet on. He says, oh, okay. Yeah, she shouldn't be too hard to find in that case. He says, yeah, she shouldn't be too hard to find. Goku goes out searching. He goes straight to the Ox King's daughter, also known as Chi-Chi. Goku's wife. And, like, Z and Super. So, yeah, he finds her. He says, "Ah, you. I've been looking for you." She says, "What? Why me?" He says, "Your father's been looking for you. So he sent me out to find you." She says, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of got lost. I don't know where I am." He says, "Don't worry. Fire Mountain's not too far from here." She says, "Okay." As he helps her up onto the Nimbus. This time he doesn't take a chance at her grabbing his tail. He jumps up onto the Nimbus. Full explosiveness, which isn't much because he's a kid right now. He says, "Damn, I gotta start training soon." Gets back to the Nimbus. I forgot that part. Yeah, Goku takes her back to Fire Mountain. Yeah, let's just say he can sense ki then. Because he's from the future and shit. Yeah, he can sense ki. He is hopping along. Chi-Chi keeping up. They get back. And Goku begins training. Just the simples. Push-ups, sit-ups, squats, pull-ups. Shadow boxing. Just beginners stuff. Goku. Yeah. When the crew is stopped, he's training. Like, exercising. Going at it. He even asked Yamcha, "Hey, Yamcha, you want to, spar? Practice some martial arts?" Yamcha's remembering his past with his past dojo. He's like, "Yeah, I could use some help. I think I've gotten a little rusty." He says, "Yeah." As they begin sparring. The entire time they're searching, they're sparring. By the time they get all the Dragon Balls together, Bulma, her wish, she doesn't even want a wish anymore. She already found her wish. The perfect boyfriend. Yamcha seems to be it for now. Well, we all know who's gonna, who and what, when, where, why. Anyways, Goku says, "So you don't have any wish?" She says, "Yeah." "Anybody else want the wish?" Oolong's like, "Oh, me." Goku's like, "No, you're probably gonna wish something perverted." Oolong's like, "Oh." Floor's like, "Me." He asks Poor, "What do you want?" He says, "A lifetime supply of cat food." He says, "Wouldn't that just, rot over time?" He says, "Dang it, yeah, I guess you're right." Goku's like, "All right. Here we go." He asks, after he kindly asks them to go away for a minute. They do. He asks Shinron, "Who sent me back in time?" Shinron, he's silent for a second. He says, "Yuri, the Supreme Kai of Universe 3. Why? Wait, you were sent back in time. Oh my god. What happened?" He says, "I don't know. I was sent back in time." He says, "Obviously. Why though? How did you get back here?" He says, "I don't know. All I know is I was sent back. And I need to figure out how to get back to my timeline." He says, "The way you were sent back, there's no way to get you back. At least not for a very long time." He says, "Figured. And besides, by the time I get to the Super Dragon Balls, it's gonna be way too late." He says, "Yes." He says, Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a thing of telephone here. Tell Kami that I, Son Goku, need to get in contact with King Yama.
He says, why do you need contact with King Yama?
He says, I need to contact a certain being. He says,
what certain being? I can bring him or her here now.
He says, no, you can't.
He says, why?
Because he's an angel.
Yep, I ain't touching that fucker. Alright. You got a wish, or...
He says, no, I just wanted to gather information.
He says, fair enough.
Goku says, wait. Wish. I wish. Raditz. No, not Raditz. I wish Vegeta was here.
You sure you want that?
He says, oh yes, I want that.
He says, your wish has been granted.
Damn, it hurts my throat. You know, Vegeta pops in. What the hell?
He kind of looks around like,
what the hell? Goku goes, calm down, Prince Vegeta. I'll explain later. He says, alright, chewing the dragon away. Purunga. Shinron looks at Goku like, excuse me, motherfucker? Shakes it off. You know, all the Dragon Balls dart. They come back. Goku bows and says, hello, Prince Vegeta. My name is Kakarot. Kakarot? You're a Saiyan? Yes, I am. I mean, of course, I'm a little younger than you, but I believe... Yeah. I am the son of Bardock. Bardock. I don't know who Bardock is. He says, neither do I. All I know is his name, so... Vegeta's like, oh. What planet is this? He says, it's called Earth. How did I get here? He says, I wished you here. How? Vegeta, nodding towards the scouter, like, turn it off. Turn it off. Vegeta kind of, takes the scouter off. Turns it off. He says, I wished you here with these things called Dragon Balls that can grant a person on this specific planet any one wish. And I wished you here after gathering some information. He says, what kind of information? Information you'll find out later. Vegeta says, so, why did you wish me here? He says, I wished you here because I know a way to help you get strong. Very, very strong. Vegeta says, how strong? Goku, knowing, how Vegeta is at this time, he says, I can make you as strong as the legendary Super Saiyan. Vegeta says, oh, so you know. He says, I know. And plus, if we help each other, if we train, if we fight each other, spar all the time, I believe not only you, but I believe we can achieve this Super Saiyan state. And, well, naturally, you might be able to defeat Frieza even. Vegeta's like, how do you know about Frieza? He goes, dude, I'm a Saiyan. I know about Frieza. He says, do you know about Planet Vegeta? He says, oh yeah, Frieza blew that shit up. Vegeta says, what? Yeah, Vegeta. Planet Vegeta was blown to smithereens by Frieza. He says, that's odd. And after a little bit, Kami finally comes to Goku. Contacts Goku. He says, "How do you know who I am, young one?" He says, long story short, mentally, I'm from the past. He says this telepathically to Kami. He says, "To save you time, old man." Well, he says, "Ooh, you. To save you time, mentally, I come from the past. I come from the future. Damn it. I come from the future." He says, "What do you mean?" He says, "I know what's gonna happen next." He says, "How?" He says, "So you have the ability to see the future." He says, "No, I'm from the future." "Oh. Do you wish to come up?" He says, "Yeah." Goku, he begins saying, "And I know a perfect place where we can start sparring." He says, "Sparring? What is sparring?" Goku says, "Fighting, but without killing each other." He says, "That's boring." He says, "Yeah, it's boring, but it'll help you get strong." He's like, Vegeta's like, "Whatever. What about Nap and Raditz?" He says, "Those two, they're gonna have to remain in the dark on this, because if you give those two your location, there's a possibility that Frieza will come along." He says, "Oh." And Goku's like, "And besides, you might actually get some peace and quiet. I mean, other than me." He says, "Yes, other than you." What power level were you born with?" He says, "Oh, actually I was born pretty weak. So, like, low class, technically a low class." He says, "Oh. Why did you contact me, low class?" "Because with my help, you and I could get very strong. We just need to spend the time of sparring together." So, let's go. They begin heading towards the lookout. Takes him a minute. Goku can't exactly fly. Yet. I mean, he knows how to fly. He can do so for like 15 minutes before he has to go back to leaping. He hasn't exactly worked on his ki, which he'll be doing so with Vegeta very vigorously. Goku gets there to the lookout. He says, "Oh yeah." Looks at the power pole and says, "This thing has served me well." He says, "All right, where we're going up, it's a little highwards, okay? Let's hope you have the energy to get up there." Vegeta says, "I have the energy to do anything, low class." Anyways, yeah, he uses the power pole to jet all the way up. In his ability to fly, he can use it to adjust his course properly. And it pokes up just right into the bottom of the lookout. He gets up there, climbs up. Vegeta couldn't quite keep up with the power pole. He gets there about a minute later. Vegeta says, "You cheating, low class." He says, "Cheating? Yes, but not for long. I mean, of course but not for long. We're gonna be sparring a lot." Vegeta says, "Whatever." Goku, he looks around all like, "Kami! You here, man?" Kami comes out of the building. He says,
"Goku. Hello. You have some explaining to do. You still have me rather confused."
He says, "As wise as you are, and you're still confused?"
He says, "Yes. I'm not sure exactly what you mean."
He says, "What I said is exactly what I mean."
He says, Kami's like, I still find that hard to believe.
He says, all right, I can prove it. He says,
Prove it then.
you have another half, an evil half of you. He says,
How did you know?
he says, I know, and his name is King Piccolo.
He says, you. Okay.
And soon enough, he will rise again to try and take over the world.
He says, and who's your little friend there?
He says, not friend. He's more of a sparring partner. We made an agreement.
He says, oh. What kind of agreement?
He says, if I help him get stronger, I'm going to help him get stronger to defeat a space tyrant. Frieza, to be exact.
He says, oh. Yes, I've heard of him. Oh, well, I've heard of his bloodline, anyways. Please, come in. I'll get you two going on training.
He says, Goku says, now, on this planet, we're going to be able to teach you how to do things with your power and teach you how to do things with your body that most other Saiyans simply wouldn't be able to. He says, so we'll be able to make you stronger. Goku, remembering his techniques and all his abilities, he's able to do it quite easily. He gets literally all of them on the first try. Vegeta, he needs a little work. He learns how to sense ki and shit. He learns how to fire proper ki blasts. He learns how to use ki to moderate his strength. And Goku, when Vegeta's practicing, ki control, he asks Kami about the Room of Spirit and Time. Kami, surprised that he knows about this, he says,
my goodness, Goku. You really are from the future.
He says, yeah, I really am. Oh, yeah. And at some point in the future, we're going to be using it a lot. He says,
I know. Anyways, the only amount of time you can spend in there right now, 4 years. Inside, of course.
He says, I know. A year is a day out here, right? He says,
yes.
He says, all right. I'm thinking about taking Vegeta in, where it's just me and him, sparring, all the time.
He says, I might come in occasionally and, He says, I think I should go with you to help the young warrior with his ki control. And besides, someone needs to keep an eye on him. All I sense in that kid is evil.
He says, evil? Yes. That's why I wished him here, to help him with that. I know he can be way much better than he is. Vegeta's point of view, he's practicing this. What's going through his mind right now? His mind is racing of kill Frieza, kill Kakarot, kill Ratatanapa, become immortal, take over the universe. The normal thing. He's hell-bent on getting power for himself. Take over the universe, take over the universe, take over the universe. Goku says, he comes up to Vegeta all like, all right, my guy, it's time to show you something pretty cool. He says, oh, what now? More technique or something? He says, no. I know a way to where we can train for a year will put a year's worth of training like this into one day.
He says, oh, and how is that?
Goku says, the room of spirit and time. In there, it can be so hot that just standing there you're dripping sweat, and it gets so cold that you're gonna wish you had brought some warm clothes. And a lot of them. It gets really hot and really cold in there. He says, the climate gets harsh. Yes. And plus, a whole year in there is a day out here. In that room. He says, huh. Oh yes, and I suggest you not go so far, Vegeta. Because if you lose sight of the main building, well, you're stuck in there forever.
He says, my God. What kind of contraption is that?
He says, a contraption of divine essence. If we use it right, we can become very strong, Vegeta.
He says, I can become very strong, unlike you, low class.
Goku says, hey. Goku's like, hey, I can easily catch up to you, man. I'd watch your back.
He says, you talking back to me, runt?
He says, yeah, and if you want to beat my ass, let's take it to the room of spirit and time. So they get to the spirit and time. Kami, he's like, oh crap, Goku is gonna get it. Kami can just sense it, that Vegeta wants to beat his ass mercilessly. So he gave Goku a huge bag of senzu beans, okay? I mean, like, it's holding hundreds. Big ass tub. Big tub. Big ass bag. Big bag. Goku says, ah, thank you. I'm gonna need these. He says, yes, you are, young one. Go. I'll be waiting out here for you. The entire year, Vegeta is beating Goku's ass. Goku, after a couple of Zenkai boosts, he is able to fight back. And, well, yeah, anyways, yeah, they just spar the entire year. After, like, a month, Vegeta's like, okay, I'm more than certain that it's been more than a day out there, outside of this room. He says, no, it's only been like, like an hour? A few hours out there? He says, what? We've been in here for a month. He says, I mean, you can go outside and check. Whatever. He goes out and check. Yeah, it's only been a few hours. To Goku, it's just a few weeks for him out there. He does some solitary exercise to try and get an edge on him. And he does. Goku's now got the edge on Vegeta. For the first time. Goku's resting. He does his normal workout. Normal routine on working out and resting. But, he's, beefed up his defenses a little. Does the proper amount of resting and exercising at the same time. Though. When Vegeta comes back in after realizing it really was only a few hours out there, he comes back inside, and he has some good ki sensory. He says, what the heck? Kakarot, your power level. How's it so much stronger now? Are you stronger than me? He says. Goku says, yes. That's what happens when you slack. You get left behind. He says, ooh, you talk to me like that, I'll beat your ass, as he's walking up on him. Goku says, I wouldn't. Vegeta goes to swing. Goku just, dodges, strikes him in the jaw, plopping Vegeta on the ground like a sack of shit. Vegeta wakes up, knowing good and well what happened. He says, "How are you so much stronger than me now?" He says, "In here, time moves a lot faster than out there. In here, as I said, way back then, I hope you haven't forgot, in here, a whole year? We can do a whole year's worth of training in here. And it'll only be one day out there. Come on, Vegeta. You gotta learn to listen." He says, "I do listen." He says, "You're too okay. Even after being proven this, how are you still so fuck, I can't speak English. How are you still so skeptical?" He says, "This is just weird. I never expected all of this before." He says, "Whatever. Come on, let's keep training." And they keep training. They train the rest of the year. Power level time! Okay. So, with given Zenkai boosts and, steady training. Goku, I'm gonna put him up about, just for the meme, he's just over 9,000. Vegeta is right behind him, just below 9,000. Just below 9,000. He's really honed in his ki. Goku is caught up. And I know, guys, Vegeta was like 18,000 as a full-grown adult. He's not a full-grown adult. Fuck, he's only like 14, 15. Alright? Vegeta, they come out, okay? Kami, seeing them after a day, he noticed they have grown. Goku hit a growth spurt. Looks a little skinny. He says, "Ooh, kid, you need some food." I mean, he's not, horrifically skinny, but, he's a little thin. He could use a good sandwich. Kind of thin. Nothing crazy, he has some anorexia or shit. Or some shit like that. He just straight up, yeah. Vegeta managed to beat Goku for most of the food. Goku managed to get his fill, though. As always. So, Goku just... So, yeah. Goku just keeps... He's like, "Hey, Kami, how you doing?" He says, "I'm doing fine, young man. And besides, it's only been a day." He says, "Yeah, I've only been stuck out..." He says, "Yeah, sorry about that. I only kind of been stuck with this asshole for about a year. Nothing much." He says, "Yeah, I see that you got stronger." He says, "Yeah, those senzu beans worked wonders. Thank you." He says, "You're welcome." He says, "And besides, Vegeta actually kind of even needed a couple of them himself." He says, "My. I can sense that you two are way stronger now." He says, "Yeah. Shoot, I bet we can easily defeat King Piccolo." Vegeta says, "King Piccolo?" He says, "Yeah. His other half. Guys, I gotta go. Before I go, though, I'm gonna leave it off here. I gotta go. So, got something to say if you like it. If you don't like it, down below, you know what to do. Later."